The RLCS World Championship officially begins in just about 2 weeks, and I figured it'd be a good time as any to start breaking down exactly what you need to know. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Lawler. I am a person who covers pretty much all Rocket League esports related things and just esports business stuff in general. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about specifically the RLCS 2025 World Championship. I'm going to go over who's attending, the schedule, basically anything and everything you could ever want to know about the World Championship. Venue information, things about the city, things of that nature. We've got you covered. So if you guys are unfamiliar, or if you guys haven't already, it helps me immensely. Consider hitting subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop any comments down below with any details you would like to know that I may have forgotten about. But with that said, we're going to go through this step by step, pretty straightforward, one thing at a time. So for those that are unfamiliar, the RLCS World Championship, which is the final event of the year, will go down on September 10th and go until the 14th. For a lot of people, they didn't know how this all came to be, but ultimately there is a bunch of online qualifiers. Once you play in those qualifiers, you then get the opportunity to go to an international major. There's 2 international majors, there is 6 open qualifiers, and based upon how you performed at those events, you earned points, which then earned your bid to the World Championship. That's how we got our 16 teams. What's different this year is our bottom 4 teams had an opportunity through what was called a last chance qualifier, where there was another open event where anybody could sign up, no transfer restrictions, any of that kind of nature. And if you were the final team at the very end to win that event, you then got to come in as the last 4 seeds in the last chance qualifier. There was one for North America, there was one for South America, one for MENA, and one for Europe. That was due to how those teams performed at the international majors that we saw earlier in the season. So each of those regions now have a representative, and that's what gives us 20 teams versus 16 that we've seen in the past. This then leads into what is going to be our early conversations. So the way that these are all basically organized is we have our top EU teams, our top NA teams, and then it pairs with their counterparts. They try to keep them all together. So K Corp, GK, Vitality, and Dignitas are your top 4. NIP is their last chance qualifier team for Europe. In North America, it was Energy, Ultimates, Space Station, and Genji. That last chance qualifier team is Shopify Rebellion for North America. MENA had Falcons and Twisted Minds. Rock is their last chance qualifier team. South America had Secret and Furia, and Drops Brad and Razebull are their team. The conversation surrounding them right now is there is a possibility that MIBR, an organization made in Brazil, apparently is what it stands for, the more I found out through the comments, shout outs to you guys. There is a possibility that they do get signed before the World Championship, but as of this moment, they are the only unsigned organization. In Oceania, they have Wildcard and TSM. In the SSA region and the APAC region, you have Virtus Pro and Foot Esports. So those are your 20 teams. The way that this is going to work, a couple ways you can find this information. I will have links to everything I talk about in the description down below. The tried and true Liquipedia page has all the major details, or you can even check out Blast website. I will say Blast website is actually a pretty solid resource when things are up to date. The nice thing is there is only one event left, and they do have a dedicated team for this website. There's also some cool things in here that people don't know. You can check out player and team stats. There is also a fantasy thing that if you guys like fantasy football type mentality, you can go and pick your team and your roster and see how you stack up in that regard. Pretty cool. They also do have details of when the matches are going to be played, what the order is. They also have a bracket. Although the bracket is a little bit awkward, it does have dates associated to when the matches are going to be. This is officially backed by the production team that is also running the event. So a very good way to stay up to date is actually using the Blast website. Again, linked in the description down below. That being said, what is going on? How does this work? We're going to stick to Liquipedia because I think it's the most familiar to most people. It is a $1.2 million tournament. First place taking $300,000 of that. There is going to be 3 different stages in the tournament. There is the play-in stage, the group stage, and the playoff stage. The thing with the group stage is it doesn't really work with 20 teams, so we have to find a way to eliminate 4 of them. That is where the play-in comes into place. We are going to take the bottom 4 seeds, this is pending and determined based upon international competition, against the 4 teams that made it in through the last chance qualifier. This looks as follows. In the play-ins, you are taking the ex-Corinthians roster, Raisable Brad, props, going up against Gen G, Rock versus Foot, Shopify Rebellion versus Virtus Pro, NIP versus TSM. The order of this was determined based upon the results throughout the year. Based upon how regions performed. Not individual teams, but regions performed. So how did South America do as a collective? How did North America do as a collective? They were seeded from high to low. It was MENA, then EU, then NA, then South America. They then are going to play the inverse of the strength of those teams coming in from the play-ins. So Team Rock, with MENA being the number 1 seed, gets to play the easiest matchup statistically in the lowest seed, which is Foot. They are going to play a double elimination bracket. With 4 progressing through, those 4 will then join the remaining 12 teams in the World Championship. Not to be confused, all of these matches will happen in person in Lyon at the World Championship at the LDLC Arena. I'll go over those details later. You can either click the little eye icon and it'll tell you when those details are announced more publicly. It'll also have links to the where you can watch the YouTube channels and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, if you use Blast website, they do have some of those details already plugged in about when start times will be. All of these times are placeholders. They will be updated when eventually the RLCS or the RL Esports page does release a primer. Based upon those progressions, you're then going to see them go into the group stage. The group stage is 2 groups of 8. This is very similar to the rest of what we have seen throughout RLCS this season. Exact same format. If you guys didn't see my video where I talked about this, go check that out. I'll try to have it pinned somewhere up top or in the description down below, where I break down how the group stages were determined. But again, same thing. 2 groups of 8. 8 are moving through. 8 are being eliminated. Once we get through that, we then have our weighted seed double elimination. The teams that progress through the upper part of the bracket of their group will then place in here, and they get an extra life. All of this is best of 5. These are best of 7. These teams, if you are a top 2, so hypothetically speaking, Falcons beats their team, Vitality beats Space Station, Falcons and Vitality plays whoever wins that. They would then plug in here. They get an extra life. If they lose, they then drop down to here, while the teams that are coming in through the lower side, the lower 4 seeds, will battle each other. No extra lives. It is to give an advantage to the teams that are of the best performing. This is nothing new. This is what the format has been throughout the entire year. They are trying to make this as simple and as easy to understand for viewers to know, like, hey, what's the format? It's the same it's always been. You know what to expect. Makes it really, really nice, seamless process. Some people find that boring. I, for the most part, find that very good because it is about a cohesive thing. As for additional details about the in-person experience, it was announced that the in-person event will be commentated by the French broadcast team. There is a community by the name of Rocket Baguette, and it does make sense that if you're going to have a majority of French fans attending in a French arena, the commentary that you hear in person is going to be in French. That is to be expected. There will still be a English-speaking broadcast with all the broadcast talent you know and assume are going to be there. Legend in chat asks, when is the 1v1 match? We don't know when they're going to do any show matches or any specifics. There is an assumption that they will do a first touch versus chalked cast type show match again. There will also be the 1v1 World Championship between Moxie and Nubo, however you say his name. They usually do that on Saturday at the end of the day. Whether that is going to be the case again, we do not know, but we do know that the prize pool is $35,000 for first and $10,000 for second. So this is a 1v1 best of 7, 2 players as individuals on the stage. You saw this at the first major, you saw this at the second major, but we now have the winners of both those majors meeting at the World Championship. Many believe Moxie is going to take it, as he is objectively, in my opinion, the best 1v1 player in the world. We'll see how it goes, but my assumption is that will go down Saturday, if I had to guess. Again, they're going to be long days. They're going to be a grind. will be watching them and doing a watch party. I will not be attending in person. I will be hanging out with you guys on twitch.tv/Lawler. If you guys want to come join, earn your drops, get your unique rewards, as that is something else that is going down. If you guys are unfamiliar, there is a campaign going on. At any point, if you go and watch my stream or others streaming Rocket League, you can earn rewards, which are unique wheels and painted variants of different things, goal explosions, etc. There will be unique drops for the World Championship, ones that we have not seen before that are going to be brand new. Good initiative, something that's been long time requested. Many of us are also assuming that there is going to be a big announcement at the World Championship, because if there isn't, a lot of people probably going to stop playing Rocket League. Many are hoping that it is going to be Unreal Engine 5, but that we do not know as well. On top of that, if you guys are unfamiliar with the LDLC Arena in Lyon, there is their website that I will link down below with details about what to expect. The seating is 16,000. That is the capacity for the venue, 16,000. Tickets were sold out almost immediately. It is going to be packed. There is going to be a lot of fan bases between Ninjas in Pajamas, between K-Corp and the rest, Golden Hornets, the Blue Wall, like all. Expect there to be a very fun atmosphere. I selfishly really wish I could attend, but financially it is just not in the cards. Your boy be broke, so not going to be happening. But that in-person experience will be for 3 days compared to the regular 2. Normally when you attend in person, it's only Saturday, Sunday. You can now go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there's 3 days that you can attend in person. All the details and stuff will be on that website. If you do have a ticket, it includes all 3. They also have their security details, things that you can and can't bring in. You know, usually it's a bag under a certain size. It's got to be clear, transparent. All those types of details are different for every venue. Make sure you guys go check that out if you are attending. Stuff like booking a space to park if you're doing that. I usually recommend finding like a taxi or an Uber just so you don't have to deal with that. Pick up, drop off. So right now it's going to be chaotic as heck. It's going to be absolutely crazy. There's also people on the subreddit talking about how there's potentially protests going on one of the days. Be careful, be smart, travel with a group. There's a lot of pickpocketing things going on. Just, again, be smart. You're a tourist. Just don't be an idiot. If you've ever gone to any public event ever, more of the same. That being said, there was also on the subreddit an AMA for someone who lives in Lyon that does answer a bunch of questions about transportation and things like that. I will also try to link something like that in the description down below. Overall, should be a pretty good World Championship. I'm assuming that Epic is going to pull out a lot of the stops. Blast, I know, has been slowly kind of teasing the excitement around this one and what they are trying to do for it. They're trying to make this a pretty special experience, especially with it being the 10-year anniversary. But that being said, I can't give you the details of what is going to happen or what the expectations are, because I'm going in hopeful but realistic. That has been my mentality around Rocket League for a very long time. All I do know is that I will be watching, I will be tuned in, I will be excited to see who ends up taking the entire event, and with that, a bunch of predictions and stuff as well, videos in that, breakdowns of teams and stuff will be coming in the near future. If you guys want to make sure you don't miss out on that stuff, as always, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you have any questions, additionally, let me know in the comments down below. Usually people are pretty good about additional information that has come out that I have missed as well, so make sure you guys go thank them if that stuff ends up happening. But that is going to do it for today's video. As always, I appreciate the love and support. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.